Hey folks, I got a request to do a video on a do-it-yourself Subkick microphone, so I thought I would just do a demo of how it sounds, and also show you just really quick how to make it. I won't go into too much depth. There's resources all over online that you can find with how to make it, but I'll just show you close-up of what it'll look like when you're finished. So if you don't know what this is, it's basically just a speaker that's hooked up to a mic cord, and what it does is you can use it as a kick drum microphone, and it'll pick up really low end that you can't always get with other microphones. So you usually can't use it too much on its own, but it can give you a lot more control over your sound if you use it alongside of other microphones. So let me show you what the one that I made looks like. Alright, so here is my Subkick microphone. Like I said, it is really simple. It's just a speaker that's hooked up to a mic cord. I used a 6-inch car speaker for mine. I got it off Craigslist for like, I don't know, $5 or something like that. 6 to 8 inches seems to be kind of the optimal size for these. If you go much larger than that, it's going to start to pick up mostly frequencies that are too low to hear, so it's not as useful as, you know, a low-end microphone. And if you go much smaller than that, it's probably going to be just more muddy and not pick up enough of the bass that you would want to use it for. So, yeah, I mean, this is the male end of the mic cord. I didn't change anything on it. And I just chopped off the female end, and hopefully you can see this. It's just I wired the two wires to the speaker terminals. Speakers have a positive and a negative terminal. Mine didn't have labeled which is which, so I just wired them up one way and it didn't work, so I switched them and it worked. Just be careful with not blowing out your preamps while you're testing it, but if you test it gently, just tap on it, it shouldn't hurt too much. Yeah, there are ways to figure out which terminal is which without trying it on the speaker. You can actually hook the wires up to a battery, and if the terminal is positive, it'll pump the speaker out, and if it's negative, it'll pump it in, or vice versa. You can look it up. There's info about it all over the place. So now I'll show you how it sounds on a kick drum, alone and in conjunction with another microphone, and hopefully give you a good demo of why these can be a useful tool to have around. Alright, really quick before I give you a demo of what the Subkick sounds like, I wanted to show you how I'm going to be recording the drums today. If you've seen my drum recording techniques video, you might recognize this. It's somewhere between a Recorderman and a Glenn Johns setup. I've got an overhead, an MXL 603 straight over the snare drum, and which is the same distance from the snare as another 603, which is coming over the floor tom, also toward the snare. I do have a close mic on the snare drum, which is an SM57, and then for the kick, I wanted to use a close mic in combination with the Subkick, so about 6 to 8 inches away from the resonant head, I've got an AKG D112. Now, for the Subkick itself, this is probably one of the hardest parts of using a Subkick, is figuring out how to mount it. I've got it on a short SM7 box, resting against the cheap amp that I have, same distance from the resonant head, so they're in phase. People use all kinds of things to mount them. Some people use a regular snare stand and just collapse it around the edges of the speaker. Some people figure out ways to attach them to mic stands. You can do all sorts of things, but this just works easy for setting it up temporarily. So here's a demo of how it sounds.